Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. This is BTC USD on the 1 day. I would like to just say right now that I have no idea where Bitcoin is going. So there's just a lot of chop going on right now. I'm not super clear as to where my bias is personally. I personally think that like these were the lows that were set, and price is currently still chopping around and potentially finding this like new higher low. You could certainly denote this as a low in late March, but I personally believe that lows take longer to form than just one quick spike down. So like as you can see over like late January and late February, early March, like these lows took a long time to form. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here too, is for price to keep chopping around and to form this low. And in this case, this would be like a higher low set and still maintaining the bullish market structure on the 1 day. But overall, it still looks fine to me. I mean, Bitcoin certainly could test lower levels, like in the 40Ks. It could go to 50K. I mean, there's still a lot of levels to go overall. In my opinion, it's just really just chop city right now. I mean, unless you're a good scalper, then I would personally kind of like stay away myself. You can see that this resistance level at high 57Ks or high mid 57Ks got tapped, and now price is pulling back just a little bit, but it's not really a super violent reaction. I still feel that this overall inefficient move from 58K to 60K is going to get filled out. So I personally feel that 60K should get tapped within the coming days, but I honestly don't really know with Bitcoin. So, you know, I know that people watch these videos and hope for some clarity. I honestly have no idea, to be frank and honest with you. I mean, like, there's a lot more support levels lower, like 50K or 53K. And then again, this kind of bullish consolidation, like basically the low around 50K-ish. These like the next two levels up. If that level gets lost, then I would look for like the mid 40s. Like 45,000 or so. That's kind of like the area that I would personally view for dip buying. But there is still this inefficient move that needs to get filled out a little bit, and I would not be surprised at all to see kind of this level around the low 60Ks getting, I wouldn't be surprised if these areas get tapped and then there's like some sort of reaction around there. Overall, it's just like a pretty, it's pretty choppy all around. So there's not really much that I can say about Bitcoin right now. And this is, it's also important to understand too that this overall market context that we're seeing over the last few like month or so, like, you know, all in April and all of March, this is like not price action that's super good for a collective altcoin pump. Like there were great altcoin pumps throughout March and February, but in April too. But they were more like sector-wide pumps. So like, you know, Sam coins pumped, or like old dinosaur coins pumped, or you know, like it's basically like you had to decide where you wanted to put your money, and it's very different than like January, for instance, where everything collectively pumped. Like when everything collectively pumped in January, it didn't matter what you had to choose. But in February, March, and April, you really had to kind of pick and choose which altcoins you wanted to go and trade. And that's actually a mistake that cost me money throughout April and March, in the sense that, well, more March, because April is really where I decided to say, all right, you know what, I'm sick of having some of these like inactive bags. Like I had like AAVE that was just like kind of sitting there in alpha, and I decided to sell some of my bags and go into more active coins like Bannock and Cake and like, you know, those types of coins, Solana, like all those coins were the ones that were trending. Those are the ones that I really traded actively. And I probably could have made more money just like buying and holding those, but I more just active trade them, and I'm pleased with the results in general. But when you see price action like this for Bitcoin, it's really important to decide what altcoins you want to trade in general, because this type of price action is not really conducive for market-wide altcoin pumps where we see everything just going up like 10 to 20% every single day and just like giving no fucks like we saw in January. We aren't going to see the January type of price action until we see what Bitcoin wants to do. And right now it's really indecisive, and I don't think really anybody knows what Bitcoin is going to do in the overall like mid to short or short to mid term. It certainly could just form its low here, and then it just grinds up to like 75K. That's certainly a possibility. It could go up to like 65K and then dump to like the 40Ks. That's also another possibility. Honestly, I honestly just have no idea in general. Like, possible too that price just forms like a big trading range from like 40K to 65K, and price just like chops around here for the next next 3 months, and then we see like some pretty good altcoin moves. That's another possibility. Like, again, I'm basically taking it level to level for BTC USD. I don't think that altcoins will collectively pump until we see some resolution, whether that's a big move to the downside or if that's like Bitcoin pumping up. I certainly am not quite sure, to be frank and honest with you. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of chop. There's a lot of there's a fair amount of volatility. And again, this is somewhat different to me than what we saw back in like the summer of 2020. So you like look at this price action right now, and then you can compare it to stuff like this, like where you see like relatively little volatility. Like it's not super insane. Like the total range was, overall, I mean, you saw this big dip down. So you could maybe mark this like a negative 20% or something like that. Like price just stayed within that range for quite some time. But most of the range was really lower. It was like a 10%, like within a 10% move. Whereas what you're seeing right now is you're seeing price have a little bit bigger of a range in general, like 30%. It's not to say that this is like super bearish or anything like that, but just that this is like, it's really choppy, and it's pretty volatile, like compared to like the other area or other times of the year in 2020. With that said, this doesn't feel like a total macro top to me. Like, I don't think that this is like going to go to like 20,000 anytime soon, personally. We haven't seen like a mass parabolic move. So I still feel that Bitcoin will have another leg up in the winter after it kind of consolidates for a while. But in the short to midterm, I honestly do not know where this is going. So there's lots of options. If I were looking to buy dips, I mean, there's like some support in like the 50K areas, and like even lower, like 45K. Like if like 53K gets lost, I wouldn't be surprised to see 45K come pretty quick. But let's just see. I'm not really sure. ETH USD, I posted this chart on Twitter the other day. It's pretty self-explanatory. 1 month accumulation period all throughout January, followed by like a 40 to 50% move, depending on where you put the wicks and bodies, followed by another long accumulation period where price just kind of chopped around in March and April, and then now we're seeing a big move. I personally believe that Ethereum still has more legs in general. I still think that this is like a pretty good coin to have. Price did get right near the $3,000 mark, and that's like an area of that I was pretty interested in general. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see this go to like the mid 3,000s. Especially if altcoins collectively pump like I think they will. I think that ETH will outperform BTC in the coming weeks, personally. And that's reflected in the ETH BTC chart. The ETH BTC chart still looks really good to me. But for me, this is still like really bullish. This chart also looks way better than the BTC chart as well. This is like a clear bullish market structure in general, and expecting this just to go higher. ETH BTC, it still is a bullish market structure in my opinion. You're seeing clear highs, like higher highs and higher lows. It's just, yeah. And this is the BTC, ETH BTC chart on the 3-day too. Like you can see that this is just pretty clear bullish market structure, and I expect this to keep going higher. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see some sort of pullback around like 055-ish area, or maybe like 058. But yeah, I'm still really bullish on this. I still feel that this could possibly go to like 07 or higher in the coming weeks and months. So overall, in summary, I don't really know where BTC USD is going to go, but in terms of ETH USD, I am bullish, and ETH BTC, I'm very bullish as well. For altcoins, I think it's really important that you consider which altcoins you trade. I am trading the active ones right now. I'm trading like INJ, took profits on SXP, Matic lately. Cake is starting to move. I'll have to do some like altcoin scans later on, but definitely pick and choose which trades you want, and also decide the timeline that you are thinking as well, because there's nothing wrong with buying altcoins that are just kind of chopping around, like, you know, for instance, AAVE. AAVE still looks pretty good, but it's like still within its like big range in general. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see this go to like 450 or something like that, but I still feel that this will have like pretty good moves in like the coming weeks and months. This is like a big pullback, and then now it's ready to move again. But the bottom line is that you have to decide which coins you really want to trade. Aave's done well recently, of course, but there are many other trending coins that are just super strong. Like Cake is just like giving no fucks. So if you want the active trades, then you have to choose them. It's not going to be a collective pump like January of 2021 as of right now. That's why it's also really important to have a long trading view list for like many of the coins that you're looking at. And just like, it sucks and it's boring, but just go to an exchange and start inputting all your coins, and you'll have to do a scan of what the best coins are. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and good luck.